Welcome back, everybody. We're going to continue with our program and our rites of passage. At this time, we have the honor of bringing up Maya Hollinger Lynch to be honored by teacher Eric Edwards.
Maya started at SBMS 4 years ago, and you could easily compare the Maya we see here today to the 6th grade version and see noticeable growth and maturity. However, this would leave out versions of Maya that we've seen along the way that have contributed to the Maya we now know. Growth is not just where you are compared to where you were. So much happens in the in-between times that doesn't get captured in a snapshot. A little nervous. Snapshot. Maya started at SBMS sampling electives like knitting, bike mechanics, guitar, ocean sports, volleyball. While she's continued with bike mechanics and knitting a little bit, two clear passions have emerged: volleyball and surfing. Through surfing and volleyball, I've had the privilege of watching Maya transform from a curious 6th grader into a 7th grader looking for her place, and then into an 8th grader navigating friendships and searching for belonging. This brings us to the Maya we have now, the strong, confident 9th grader and now graduate standing here today. Middle school can be a challenging time, and it's easy to lean into the things that come easily, steer clear of things that are challenging and present potential for failure. Maya did not take the easy path. She stuck with the things she enjoyed and worked hard to prove to herself that she belonged. She kept paddling out into the surf that was bigger than her comfort level and kept practicing volleyball skills she knew she needed to be able to play at a higher level. Hard work and the foundation of good technique and hours of practice have paid off. Maya is a solid surfer and a skilled volleyball player. While those skills are important to Maya, and these passions will likely remain a part of her life for a long time, it's the process of sticking with it, risking failure while doing hard things that will allow her to be successful in whatever challenges she faces in life. It was through these activities that Maya has cultivated grit and determination. It's nice when the things you enjoy come easily. However, it's the things that do not that show you what you're really capable of. Not many people stick with things that aren't easy. True courage and grit are needed to follow a passion that isn't immediately gratifying. The person I see here today is a person that is a leader. You're willing to jump in, mentor younger students, you're open-minded and kind. My hope for you is that when you find doubt or stray from the path that feels right to you, you remember who you are, that you're strong, you have grit, and that you can do anything you put your mind to. Thank you for giving me the honor of speaking for you.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Maya Hollinger Lynch. Maya, fearless and a firework. Oh, Maya, she laughs like the gulls on the breeze with a grin that can melt the iciest freeze. She's sunshine and sneakers, all sparkle and spin with a soul full of joy and a heart made to win. She surfs like the sea is her own sacred place, with salt on her brow and the wind in her face. She's fearless and kind, full of spunk and good cheer, and somehow brings summer throughout the whole year. She's loyal and light, like a firework's bright flare. Dancing through life is her forte, no one can compare. From volleyball courts to the fairground ride, she's a friend that you want right there by your side. She jokes like a tease of a well-timed breeze and comforts with care, putting all hearts at ease. She's honest and bold with a laugh that's the best, the kind of good soul that keeps the wild world at rest.
I'd like to welcome up Ethan Robert Maday to be honored by parents Connie and Robert Maday.
Let's go. All right, here we go.
All right, can you hear us?
Congratulations. Well, when we discussed your plans for 9th grade at SBMS with Brian, he joked that you should actually be paying for 2 tuitions for how much you squeezed out of the SBMS. And he was not wrong. We began this incredible journey 3 years ago, knowing only a handful of faces and names. As you leave SBMS, you do so loaded with memories, friends, and a sense of self that can only be attributed to the magic that overflows here at SBMS. Can I go off script for a quick moment?
Sure.
Okay. So, to give a little snapshot of where Ethan is now versus where he was when he started last weekend, he was invited to be honored as the Environmental Defense Center's Eco Hero, Next Generation Eco Hero, at their annual. And we had a VIP set up, and there was a handful of SBMS teachers there in support of all of this. And Ethan was honored and introduced by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And here we are a week later having the same honor with a little bit of an act to follow, to say the least. But Ethan gets up in front of 500 people, 600 people, thank you, and the crowd lifts and is giving him a standing ovation, and he's loving it. He starts working the crowd as if there was no issue with it, that experience at all. It came so naturally to him. And as he's working the crowd, he has the wherewithal to thank SBMS and the teachers that were there, DTL, Aaron, Jenny Elise, and Erica, thank you. They were all there. And I thought to myself, who is this kid? And as parents, you all know, life goes fast, and sometimes you look and you see your children, and you see them differently, different moments in time, and it kind of punctuates your memories of your children. And that was one of those moments. Who is this kid? And I think the answer is, he's not a kid. He's a young man. It's quite a moment, but I thought that gives you all a nice little snapshot of where he is now.
Now I know where he gets the ad-libbing
Back on track. So, since you were young, you've approached life with a genuine sense of gratitude for family, friends, and the environment. And as you were looking for a quote for the fur flags, you stumbled upon many, but one stood out to you, and it's a quote by Schneider, who's a poet and an environmental activist. And that quote is, "Find your place on the planet, dig in, and take responsibility from there." Well, you've certainly dug in, you've dreamed big and dared to fail. Seeing you step into your passion with a new sense of leadership and purpose is really been inspiring for us all. And today we celebrate all you've accomplished and revel at the young man you've become. And with a solid footing, you look towards the start of your next adventure. And as you turn toward the future, we'd like to offer another poem by Gary Schneider. Stay together, learn the flowers, go light.
Simple words, but full of wisdom. Stay together, keep your people close, and be a friend others can count on. Learn the flowers. Stay curious and notice the beauty in small things. Go light. Don't carry unnecessary burdens. Move forward with kindness and grace. Both poems say the same thing in different ways. Stay grounded, stay open, take responsibility, and enjoy the journey ahead. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just keep showing up. Step by step, hug by hug, petal by petal, wave by wave. Congratulations, Ethan. We are proud of you and will always be here for you, cheering you on with awe and gratitude. Thank you for continuing to teach us and inspire us. We are excited for what's to come and all that you will do in the world. Stay together, learn the flowers, go light. We love you.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Ethan Robert Maday, the gift of Ethan. Ethan's a fire that burns steady and bright, with a voice for the earth and a heart full of fight. He speaks for the trees, for the oceans and land, with grit in his soul and tools in his hand. No challenge too great, no vision too wide, he stands for what's right with unwavering pride. A leader in stride with a calm, guiding way, he shapes up tomorrow with what he does today. He's the first to arrive and the last one to leave, with a passion so deep you can't help but believe. He'll fix up your bike and defend your good name, and never once asks for fortune or fame. With wisdom beyond what his years suggest, and kindness that shows through each task and each test, he's building a world where we all can belong. One voice, one action, one future grown strong.
Now we have the honor of having Stella Pearl Malina come up to be honored by teacher Erica Singer.
Well, picture this. It was the year 2019. I was anxiously starting a teaching job at a new school. My coworker asked me to sit at a tiny table made for children to draw planets with crayons. The conversations with all the new kids were pretty much all the same. Hi, my name is Erica. Did you have a good summer? You want to draw a planet too? Do you have pets? I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew was that those kids were ready to get away from me just as much as I was trying to crawl out of my skin. But in walked in the absolute tiniest fourth grader you could ever imagine. She had this cool skater style, the kind of style that was often supported by a pair of Vans and one of those beanies that were just too tall. She had this knack of making everyone feel welcome. And I no longer wanted to run away from the classroom. She made the awkward go away. And throughout that first year together, we both learned the ways of Emerald Door and fell into our grooves. She was always at my side and I was always at hers. So I'm going to take a break from memory lane for a second to explain something about Montessori Center School. Every year, the students have a project that they research all year long, and it's uniquely named the Year-Long Project. It's the thing that the students are most proud of by the end of the year. I remember Stella's first topic that year was, I believe, the shoe company Vans, and she named it Shoes Got Soul. Get it? Well, it turns out one of the things that I'm most proud of is you. So I thought I'd make my own year-long project, except perhaps it's more of a 5-year-long project. And I've decided to name it, you can turn it around now, Stella, subtitle, just stelling it like it is. Instead of researching things about you, like your family, your history, timeline, etc., I've decided to include just some of the things that I love about you. So first off, number one, you are just the best listener. In elementary school, I would always encourage talk it outs for students who were in conflict. And most students would request to talk it out in order to talk, but I noticed you would request one in order to have the space for the other person to talk, so that you could listen and understand where they're coming from. Even Sam from Santa Barbara Fly Fishers took notice of your listening skills. And for those of you who don't know who he was this sassy older gentleman who taught us how to tie flies. And he spoke quietly, mostly putting down the students who weren't listening. But in between the criticisms, he would pay you your praises, and I'm not sure if you actually heard that. I think your ability and willingness to listen not only will take you far in life, but it's what makes you the best friend to have. Secondly, you are a natural camp mom, and everyone needs a camp mom in their friend group. And what I mean by that is that you always come prepared with creature comforts that we don't even know we'll be missing when we're out in the wild. Every car ride, you have a Trader Joe's bag filled with goodies for everyone in the car. Sometimes it's even homemade cookies for us. You always have games or activities in your back pocket that you pull out when there's a lull in the conversation as well. Which brings me to the next thing, and perhaps the thing I love most about you. You bring people together. You might not be the loudest person, but I see what you're doing behind the scenes. You leave these little gems for people to interact with, and then just step back and watch it all happen. You curate playlists for every situation, bring scary stories to the fire, and just basically figure out how to hold space for gatherings. I remember during the depths of COVID, you and a few others came to the parking lot of the school to thank the teachers for their virtual work, but from the safety of your cars, of course. And eventually you took the step to sitting on top of the car. And before you knew it, there was a circle of cars, each with a student sitting on top, having what felt like the first get-together since the pandemic started. You always make that first little step that takes any situation from an interaction to a hangout, and then eventually to a party. I'm sure if you took a close look at any middle school party, the very first incognito tiny fingerprint was left by you. I'm so happy that your parents pushed you to stay at SBMS for one more year. I feel like what we saw in you this year is the perfect way to end this chapter of your life. You're a very special person in my heart, and I hope that we stay in touch, or that I could at least get updates every now and then. Ideally, maybe I could function as like the cool aunt at the barbecue or something, I don't know. Either way, I would just like to leave it like this. I love you, and I admire the person you are.
Okay. Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Stella, Pearl, Malina. The sparkle of Stella. Oh, Stella's spark. Oh, Stella's a spark in the still of the night, with laughter that bursts like a rocket in flight. She's bold as the sea and as free as the breeze, with joy in her step and a knack for the tease. Her grin is a beacon, her spirit runs wild, both fierce and uplifting like the delight of a child. No moment is dull when she's part of the scene. She's the life of the party and all things between. She's a mermaid at heart with a saltwater soul. From tennis to beach days, she gives it her whole. She'll joke and she'll dance with a gleam in her eye and lift up your spirits without needing to try. Her humor is contagious, her presence a gift. She's loud in the best way and gives hearts a lift. A storm full of sunshine, both clever and kind. You'll never forget her once she's crossed your mind.
I'd like to welcome Niko Marcus Morfis to be honored by parent Costas Morfis.
Wow, what a day. Let's give these kids a clap. I think they deserve it also. I'm Costas, Niko's dad, and it gives me immense pride to stand here before you to honour my son. Niko, you began your middle school journey in 6th grade, fresh off the boat from Australia. Back then, you were a boy with a thick Aussie accent and an even thicker man bun. That's it, no more than a man bun. You've come a long way since then. You've built real friendships, embraced what Santa Barbara has to offer, and made it your true home. I've been lucky enough to join you on both the 6th grade Marin trip and this recent Arizona trip. It has really brought me immense joy to see your true self develop, whether it's just goofing around with your friends or spinning tall tales that had students and teachers alike crowding around you and circled up, doubling over in laughter. Academically, Niko, you crushed it. In the 4 years, never once have I logged into the hub to check in on your homework. You always had it handled, so thank you for making that part of parenting easy. It's hard to describe the entirety of who you are in just a few minutes, but I think the quotes you wrote on your surfboard that you shaped last year of Surf and Cycle can say a lot about who you are. The first quote, "Such is life," were the last words from the infamous Australian outlaw Ned Kelly before he was hung. He was a true Aussie, someone who stood up to tyranny and fiercely protected his family and friends. I see that spirit in you. The second quote, "Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done," is from David Goggins, a retired Navy SEAL, an all-round badass. After reading his book, you made the decision to stay for 9th grade, knowing it was the right thing to do, even though many of your besties were leaving. That took guts. If I had to describe you with one element, it would be water. Sure, you love the ocean, but it's more than that. Water is calm, adaptable, and flows around obstacles. But water can be immensely powerful. As we saw in the Grand Canyon, Niko, it is capable of reshaping the world. It is strong without trying to be, and that's how I see you. Niko, you've already got 2 passports, and I'm working on your 3rd. Use them. Go explore. I can't wait to see what adventures you will forge for yourself, son. Thank you for being you, and me and your mother are so, so proud of you.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Niko Marcus Morfis, the understated mastery of being Niko. Now, Niko's a lad with a grin and a spark, with humor as dry as the desert state park. He'll toss out a line with a straight-faced charm that cracks you wide open, no hint of alarm. He's clever and kind with a cool, steady pace, and somehow brings calm to a wild, noisy place. A friend through and through, with a sharp, honest way, he's the guy you'd want riding on the trail any day. He's wild on a bike, with the hills in his grip and confidence flowing with each downhill zip. He's a beast at new sports. Just hand him a ball. He'll master it quickly. No big deal at all. He treats folks like family, both teachers and peers, and he'll stick by your side through the doubts and the years. There's more to this guy than he's letting you see, but the ones who know Niko, they'd absolutely agree.
We invite Siobhan Reece Murphy to be honored by her father.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Murphy. I'm Siobhan's dad, and we're honored to be here today. Siobhan, as we gather today, your mother and I are so very proud of the way you've grown over the past few years. Your path hasn't always been an easy one. It isn't really for anyone, despite the way it may appear to others. But you've always given 110%. The passionate pursuit of your goals and your unyielding spirit show through every day in the way you have chosen to live your life. You have grown to understand that every person has their own unique path in life and has the power to choose. Ultimately, this power to choose is the key to becoming an adult. You have chosen to take on more responsibility, act more maturely, become self-sufficient and independent. Everyone's path in life will at times feel like a difficult, lonely one. But I think the most valuable thing SBMS has taught you is that everyone is part of a broader community and that your interactions with others make a difference. You are surrounded by people who love and care about you, and you give the same back to others. You have learned that during life's difficult moments, you are able to lean on others for support, and you don't have to go it alone. You're never alone. As many of you know, Siobhan was a late entry into the 9th grade class. We had moved to Florida, and after the year made a decision to return to Santa Barbara and to SBMS. It was a last-minute decision by us, and given its well-earned popularity, SBMS already had a very full roster of students for the year ahead. Thankfully, Brian and others on the SBMS team jumped through many hoops to make 9th grade at SBMS a reality for Siobhan. Thank you all for allowing Siobhan to be a part of what I have heard from many who would know is the best 9th grade class ever at San Clara Middle School. And my apologies to the alumni who thought they had that title.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Siobhan Reece Murphy, the quiet spark. Now Siobhan's a whisper, a still ocean tide, but beneath that calm surface, a bold wildfire hides. She's clever and thoughtful, with wit sharp and sly, and a dry kind of humor that slips softly by. She'll listen with grace, then with one well-timed line, have you doubled in laughter and feeling just fine. She's steady and humble, but never a bore, a storm in soft sandals with depths to explore. She rises at dawn with the swimmer's strong will and masters her craft with a calm, quiet skill. She studies, she reads with her future in sight, but still makes the time to make others feel light. She's mellow, yet mighty, reserved, yet so real, with a heart made for friendship and nerves made of steel. You won't hear her boast, but she's earned every cheer. Siobhan is the soul that everyone draws near.
I'd like to invite up Kiki Oser to be honored by teacher Cassie Childs.
Hello. Can you all hear me? Okay. For those of you who don't know me, I am the librarian at the middle school. So this may seem an unexpected relationship. As Kiki and I both know, she has never actually checked a book out from the library. But she is my most frequent visitor. Some of my favorite memories of Kiki are yelling down the hallway at me, "Cassie!" and running to give me a big hug. During orientation week, our very first week this year, Kiki ran to me and asked for me to speak to her at Rites of Passage. I told her to revisit me later in the year and come back when she was certain. And again, the very first day of school in January, there she was, yelling my name and repeating her request. And I'm genuinely honored to be sitting next to her today. So I met Kiki in her 8th grade year and my first year here at SBMS. She started to come into the library with a bit of an unexpected group. Julia, Ingrid, Iris, and Natalia here. Sometimes I was privy to their private conversations and other times we simply talked. They did not ask me questions about books, but rather we started to have conversations about music, our love of food, travel, and family. In these moments, I began to better know Kiki. As I've reflected on her journey over the last 2 years, I've noted remarkable change. I had heard from other students their first impressions of Kiki from 7th grade. She was maybe a bit intimidating, a bit fiery, maybe drawn to drama. While some of these things may be true, I see something more in you and think that your passion, your smile, your wonderfully curly hair brought people to you. I have seen you soften over the last years. I've tried to analyze you, Kiki, kind of like I do with books, and saw not an intimidating person, but rather someone who wholeheartedly dedicates herself to building friendships and community. 2 examples really stand out for me that demonstrate Kiki's desire to be a good friend. I have a memory of Julia walking into the library with tears just streaming down her face. I had never seen Julia so vulnerable before. When I asked what was going on, she told me about a letter that you had written to her about how her friendship was so meaningful to you. The sentiment was so strong, it made Julia, a person who I mostly had heard like something sarcastic from, completely drop her guard and recognize the value of your friendship. So you must be a very talented writer, because my second example is your honoring letter to Stella. I had the privilege of hearing your letter multiple times over several drafts, and each time I had goosebumps and I cried. Your willingness and ability to express how you value people and friendships is so special and truly defines you. And in your hand, I've given you blank notebooks to hopefully fill with more writing. I believe that you're ready to move on from SBMS and that the transformation you experience here has prepared you for high school. I sat with Kiki and Elsie at the beginning of 9th grade this year in the library, and they both looked at me, looked at each other, and then openly discussed the misinterpretations that they had had of one another. I told you both then, and I think I was right, that the 2 of you would find things in common and that you would create new relationships and dynamics during this last year at SBMS, and you did do this. This year, I have seen you forge new friendships, try new things, and really put yourself out there emotionally. I'm really proud of you, and believe these strengths in your character will allow you to succeed. I will really miss hearing you yell my name down the hallway and our chats in the library, but I feel very lucky to have had someone like you welcome me to SBMS. I hope that you are secretly reading books at home, even if you aren't getting them from the library. And I look forward to hearing stories from you and by you about your next adventures. You are welcome to sit with me at my desk anytime.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Kiki Oser. Sorry about that. Kiki, the spark and the beacon. Oh, Kiki's a whirlwind of giggles and light. She laughs like a bell through the heart of the night. With a grin that could melt the ice of a snowball, she's dancing through life with high heels and all. She's silly and bold, full of fashion and fun, and lifts up her friends like a beam to the sun. No shadow stands a chance when she enters the room. She'll laugh in its face and banish the gloom. She's loyal and loud, with a heart that is wide, a shoulder to lean on, a friend at your side. She's Fancy Nancy, with sneakers and soul, and goofy enough to make friends feel whole. She'll cry if you cry, but she'd rather you laugh, and then tell you a story that's silly and daft. She's growing each day with fearless delight. Oh, Kiki, you beautiful beacon of light.
We'd like to invite Lily, Clementine, Lucille Palmer to come up and be honored by SBMS alum and her brother, Charlie.
Before I share some of who my amazing sister is to me, I'd like you all to close your eyes and take a second to picture who Lily is to you. Is she lending you a towel and a change of clothes so you have no excuse to sit out sunrise swim? Sketching your portrait in elaborate detail? Is she helping you up a difficult hill with endless smiles and laughter? Or standing steadfast by your side through any drama? Dancing with you in the rain? Or maybe she's dishing a buttery flick to you into the end zone for an ultimate Frisbee score. I don't know about you all, but picturing Lily fills my heart with the warmth of family, and I suspect it might do the same for many of you. Lily, you are an incredibly welcoming and inclusive person. I see it in the way you've always allowed me to be myself and appreciated me for it, and in the stories so many of your friends tell of being invited in by you. I think McKenna spoke for many when she told me Lily was a gift from God. She gave me a group of friends who really got me. You have a carefree spirit, but are also deeply caring. You've always been fearless, from facing me and my big, mean friend Sam in a snowball fight all alone, to leading the way into the late-night bioluminescent ocean. And more, you pair that adventurousness with such loving care for the needs of everyone around you, and a genuine commitment to their flourishing. It's a beautiful balance, and something that I'm always learning from. You're also so talented and successful in a very natural way. You work hard and learn fast, not because you need to be the best, but for the simple joy of a new challenge. One day while practicing handstands, you suddenly asked me to give you a math problem to try to solve before you toppled over. And so was born one of my favorite games, and one which I think is emblematic of your joyful style of learning. I'm so honored to speak for you at this turning point in both our lives. We've always had a special relationship, and I'm overjoyed to consider you one of my best friends, as well as my sister. Going off to college scares me, not least because I won't see you every night around the dining table. But I know I can always come back to you. Because family is love which is always there for you. And I think sometimes we throw around the idea of an SBMS family too lightly, but if there's a year that grew close as family, it's yours. And if there's a weaver of family wherever she goes, it's you, Lily. So I have nothing but confidence in you and in the relationships you built here at SBMS as you move into the next chapter. And I hope all of you recognize just how lucky you are to be able to count on Lily as part of your family. I love you.
I find it interesting time after time that the classmates and the teachers of each of these graduates send in input, and the poems often reflect what the speaker said. So here we go. Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Lily, Clementine, Lucille, Palmer. Lily the light. Lily's the spark that ignites every day with a heart full of sunshine. She lights up the way. Her laugh is a melody, sweet and sincere, and when you need help, she's always right here. With a mind that is sharp and a spirit so bright, she dances through life with pure, boundless delight. Her artwork is magic, her heart even more. Lily's a treasure, a soul to adore. She's a friend you can count on, so loyal and true. She lifts you with kindness and helps you break through. Whether it's at school or on a trail in the wood, Lily's the one who'll make everything good. Her hands weave together pure joy and art. Her spirit so gentle is a world apart. So here's to Lily, who shines and stands tall, a brilliant, sweet soul who's loved by us all.
I'd like to welcome Teya Caroline Perkin to be honored by teacher Coach B.
Power storytelling. The undefeated season. My first memory of Teya. The date, September 2022. My first fall at SBMS. Eric Edwards informs me that I'll be coaching middle school girls JV volleyball. I immediately question his decision making for the rest of the week, thinking I've never done anything of this in all my years of coaching. You want me to coach 10 7th grade girls how to play volleyball? Where do I start? What do I say? Hopefully he doesn't give me all the high energy kids. Where's Aliyah? This flashback actually includes 4 of Teya's classmates sitting behind us right now. The anticipation of the unknown grew into a fear that had me Googling all the different variations of team icebreaker games and what 7th grade girls talk about. That first week of practice for me was a classic fake it till you make it. But I gotta give Eric props. As he threw me into that fire with a smile on his face, he told me it'll probably be one of the most fun seasons you ever have at SBMS. To this day, that was legitimately one of my favorite teams I've ever been a part of in my 15 years of coaching, and only 4 of those years are at SBMS. Thanks, that's it. Winning, of course, makes sports more fun, but it was the characters on that team that made it unforgettable. Aliyah, Ella, Maya, Stella, and last but not least, cool, calm, collected Teya. I'm gonna add consistent to make it the 4 C's. Like that? My unofficial team captain from day one. You had that focused mindset I look for in leaders. A demeanor that is unique for student athletes at your age. It's honestly something you can't teach, but it's something us coaches are incredibly grateful for when kids like you cross our paths. You actively listen with eyes, ears, and body language. You may not be the most outspoken, but you led by your actions, which is often more powerful. You brought the team together by being intentional with your energy, You helped others lock in. You were eager to learn, try, fail, and try again. Through your determination and consistent effort, you progressed rapidly in a short 10-game season. If I was allowed to give out awards at this school, you easily could have taken home Most Improved Player and MVP. Now, remember, I was fairly new to the rules of six-man volleyball, and Headmaster Brian had made it strikingly clear during my onboarding process that at SBMS, it's win at all costs. Especially if you're playing Crane. So this next part, Eric, earmuffs, but this may be a confession of illegal subbing and rotations. But you and the girls behind us were our strongest players. And you just so happen to be often the ones serving during the clutch moments of the closest games. Let's just say those late game timeouts were more strategic than us just resetting our minds. But something became more clear after each win. Teya, when you had the ball in your hands, our team was more confident. When you're up to serve, that's when your coach could breathe normally again. You were cool, calm, collected, and consistent. 7th grade girls volleyball can get intense. I don't know if you've ever been to a match, but this team had some thrillers and epic comebacks. It was super fun, and you girls won all 10 games with incredible class. A beautiful blend of respect, positivity, humility. Except for when we crushed Crane and sent them home crying. I got you, B. Teya, girls, it was a pleasure being your coach, and that undefeated season lives on forever through the power of storytelling. So I'd like to take a moment to highlight one of your 4 C's, consistency. I believe it to be the most overlooked and at the same time one of the most valuable traits someone can have when paired with kindness, humor, curiosity, resiliency, and determination. After 3 years of experiences and stories with you, that's the person I see standing here today. Just like your 4 C's, the memories of the 4 G's, hiking across Catalina into the eye of the storm is something I'll never forget. There will be endless versions of this story told at SBMS for many years to come. Chloe, Teya, McKenna, Coach B, 4 individuals standing at 4 different heights with 4 very different strides for hiking. Due to this, we didn't actually hike together that much, but the memories of when we slowed down are vivid. The belly laughs on the boat while crossing the choppy channel, eating ramen in the rain under tarps with holes in them, when waiting for radar's red dot to settle in over our camp. Shout out Jager for setting up that mini tarp city. Nick, you would have been proud. Strobe light dance parties in the rain past your bedtime that definitely sent half the kids home with another virus. Eating bison burgers with mud caked shoes and pants to the sound of Elise going into mom mode, telling the owner, "Thanks for the food, we'll be sleeping here tonight." We set up camp in that airport restaurant with 40 plus smelly teenagers packed in like sardines in a can. I chose to sleep outside that night. It was a 5-day roller coaster of emotions, and yet every picture I have of you, you're consistently smiling, making the most of every situation, being a reliable friend that others can lean on, someone able to keep their sanity in the chaos and still be able to talk, and still be enjoyable to talk to you. You earned a lot of respect from me on that adventure. 4Gs for life. Our time together has been short, but the stories are endless. You and your friends inspired Breakfast Club 2.0, which I believe brought your 9th grade class closer together. You and your friends also brought to life one of the all-time great skits of Mason, Davis, and the Oregon Bears. You consistently surprise us with hilarious Gaffigan-inspired stand-up comedy sets around the fires, and you've always been one of the first people in the water and the last one to leave. I'm still not sure how you didn't get hypothermia at Siskiyou Lake. I was a cup and a half deep into the hot chocolate while you were still floating out by that buoy. I always enjoy hearing your stories of summer adventures paddling and portaging across Canada. I'm equally shocked and impressed you actually went back to Catalina for another backpacking adventure with your friends. If I had more time, I could keep going. But what I'd like to make sure that you understand in this moment is that I was a witness of you following through on your side of the deal. I recently watched my nephew make his promises to the other Brian as an incoming 7th grader. It was my first deal meeting, and it allowed me to connect deeper with the intentions that each individual brings with them when joining the SBMS family. I can confidently say that you showed up for this community with kindness. You consistently inspired us to be the best versions of ourselves. You represented your family to the highest level. And most importantly, your consistency allowed you to maximize your SBMS experience. You carpe'd the diem. Cool, calm, collected, consistent Teya. Through this process of writing, I've noticed a consistent theme. It's your friends. It's the people you choose to surround yourself with. Fun, caring, intelligent individuals. It says a lot about you and the power you possess of attracting positivity. I genuinely believe you're going to thrive in the next chapters of life, and I'm excited to hear all that you accomplish. I'm going to leave you with one quote from the one and only, my man Denzel. Dreams without goals are just dreams, and ultimately they fuel disappointment. On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but most importantly, consistency. Because without commitment, you'll never start, but without consistency, you'll never finish. Proud of you, Teya. One more.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Teya Caroline Perkin, the wit of Teya. Teya is a master of wit and of jest, with humor so sharp she's one of the best. At fires, she's laughing, clever jokes yet untold, with a wit that's as quick as the moonlight is cold. A calmness surrounds her, so steady, so true. She's a quiet observer with a heart that breaks through. In moments of stress, she's the calm in the storm. With humor and grace, she makes all hearts feel warm. Her stand-up's a triumph, her timing divine, with a spark in her eyes that's impossible to hide. She tackles the world with a chuckle and a smile, making every moment worth every mile. Though humble and quiet, she's clever and bright. Her wisdom is paired with a comic delight. A true friend and scholar, so clever and wise. With Teya around, the joy of life never dies.
Let's have Zander R. Peterson come up to be honored by Daniel Lauer.
Hello. Hey, how many of you guys came in 6th grade? No, put down there. Yes. They've all been here since 6th grade. That was great. Okay, so Zander, your dad wrote that you grew 8 inches, and I thought, no, he didn't. Then I stood next to him. At Santa Barbara Middle School, we regularly honor the kids publicly by recognizing growth of all types, but we only have one award, just one, and it's the Diamond Award. And one time I mentioned that Jake Lindelof won the Diamond Time Award, and Aaron Finnegan leaned over and said, "Daniel, it's not the Diamond Time Award." And so, but he could have won the Diamond Time Award, because if they had one, he could have won it. But he has been lighting up Diamond Time for years. He came in almost every morning to the Rock Jam room and with his music, and he'd walk in on fire. Music pouring out of him, his drums, voice, energy, and an unteachable thing, presence. And he took Rock Jam as often as possible. And he was a delight. He had opinions, but he wasn't into arguing, so he was just perfect to be in a band with. And he's in a band now. Though he played the Lotus Theater many times, he's played around town, and he's in theater, on stage in theater, and he's played gigs around town with his band. My film in my head of Zander is, when he wasn't in Rock Jam, he would come in right at the end, and we're squeezing in the last take to get ready to play on Friday, and he would come in to the other people's Rock Jam, and he'd whip the door open and just and he wasn't joking on the guys. He was grooving to the music. He was he's really a joy spreader. And he credits SBMS with helping him discover and nurture his passion, so we did our job. And it's a joy to teach earthlings like Zander, but make no mistake, the spark is all his. The rhythm, the vocals, the humor, the room reading, that's all Zander. And he didn't just become a musician here, he fell in love with music. And I was going to leave this next part out of, but one of the English teachers said, no, it's okay, you can leave it in. So he really knows how to get attention. One time he even inhaled a bottle top, and we had to postpone Songfest. And that's a commitment to show business. I apologize, Kit, and Eric, Peterson, and Phoebe. I know that was a very painful, scary, scary time. But did you come back? You came back and played later at the show? No. You didn't know. He was in the hospital too long. He did. This next part is from his parents, who are wonderful parents, or you wouldn't have two wonderful kids like Phoebe and Zander. Thank you very much. And Eric helped out. You guys both helped out a lot. I saw you in the kitchen, and he went on 2 trips where we changed his name to Peter Erickson because someone made a mistake once. This year, this is his part. Zander returned to school much taller with new clothes and a better hairdo. Thank you, Phoebe. He suddenly had more Riz than the awkward side part hairdo. Now, that line was your dad's. You notice how he was trying to use the colorful slang of youth, which I would never resort to that literally Riz goon move. Zander stepped up with confidence in his time here. He sang in front of the whole school. The first couple of years we couldn't get him to sing, and people say he could sing, and he wouldn't do it. Not just in bands, but in beautiful duets. We chose him to speak to prospective SBMS families at open houses from a student's perspective, and he was fun, informative, and spoke like a pro. He's hilarious. He's super fun to be around. I think my catchword might be he's a joy spreader. The Diamond Award winner represents the 4 sides of the diamond. What are the 4 sides of the diamond? Have fun, laugh a lot, something about kindness. I don't know. You know? He has no idea. Have fun must be one of them. How did you do academically? Could I say you ripped in all your classes? I don't even know. He ripped in all his classes academically. It was incredible. My best friends growing up were identical twins. They still are. And they constantly warred because they were a very athletic family, and they just warred all the time. Now they war about politics. They're both college professors, and they're on the same side politically, but they still fight all the time. Literally fight, actually. When he choked, I saw you cry so much, and I've seen him support you when you were sick one time, and you guys really love each other, so much different from my immature friends. It's wonderful how you and him love each other. And let's see, he adores kids. He works at zoo camp in the summer just to be around kids. He thinks deeply about life, death, and big questions that most adults avoid. He designs video games, creates original art, made a card game people actually play. He's in a band called As If with Delilah back here and some other SBMS alumni who are here. And he's done gigs around town. He loves the drums. He's learning guitar. He's written songs already. And his dad said when he shows him a song he likes, he enters kind of a mystical mouth-breathing trance before quietly saying, I like that one. Good one. Zander, you're a musician, a thinker, an artist, a kind and funny, curious soul. And when we start rides, we do a thing, a coyote howl or wolf howl, if you will. And so last year we did this first. I'm lucky to speak for some really cool kids. I spoke for Cliff Vicker up there. I spoke for Stefan last year, who won the Diamond Award. And this guy is a Diamond Time Award winner. And when I Diamond Time Award winner, both. He won 2 awards. So when I give his name and I go like this, then you're going to all do a coyote howl instead of clapping. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Santa Barbara Middle School 2025 Diamond Time Award winner, Zander.
Pretend to be happy. Pretend to be
That's okay. Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Zander R. Peterson. Zander's infinite spark. Zander's a spirit so witty and bright, with jokes that will set you alight with delight. He'll crack a quick quip or play a cool tune, a friend who will cheer you morning to noon. No topic too serious, no moment too light. He'll find the humor and make it feel right. He's kind and he's clever, with style to spare. The soul of an artist beyond all compare. With a heart full of love, he is forever on track. Zander's a friend who will always have your back. He's the life of the moment, yet kind through and through, with a smile that can brighten the darkest of blue. In music and art, he's a force to be known, but what stands out most is the love he has shown. A true, loyal friend with a creative spark, Zander will always leave a glowing mark.
Before I invite our next student and speaker, I thought maybe it would be important to clarify that Diamond Award. The Diamond Award is given to students in their 9th grade year, students who do represent all 4 sides of the diamond, which are outdoor education, community, academics, sports, and the creative arts. This year's Diamond Award winners are Story Eaton, Iris Heckes, and Zander Peterson. So just a round of applause for those students. And now I would like to invite up Reid Michael Powers, who will be honored by teacher Heather Harkness.
Wow, what an honor to be here and to be speaking for the one and only Reid Powers. Some of you who know me may know that I tend to be quite verbose at times. I've taken pity on most and kept it to 1 page, single space. And if you'd like me to sing the praises, or speak the praises, I don't want to sing for you, of Reid Powers at any time, please approach me and I will continue to do so. Reid Powers may have entered this world 15 years ago, but you'd never know it based on the knowledge that lives within him. Thankfully, this doesn't lead to arrogance. Instead, this incredible logic is tethered to an all-encompassing heart. We met because Reid joined Lights Up Theater Company, where I proudly serve as assistant director, etc. And while many people are understandably daunted by joining something new, especially when auditions are involved, my first impression of Reid was not that of nerves, but of observation. This has stayed true throughout the years I've known him, and I occasionally find myself curiously taking a peek at him when new information is presented. While his actions vary, of course, it is always interesting to see what new revelation will spring forth. One thing that Lights Up's team and I have appreciated about Reid is how deeply he sinks into each character. As any good actor can tell you, acting goes past what you see presented on stage in a finished product. Reid exemplifies this process by really sitting with the character and dedicating himself to understanding their story and motivations, even when they differ from his own. I believe that he has applied that to each character he's been attached to by the cast lists over the years. Reid's first role with us was in Into the Woods as Cinderella's father. While Sondheim doesn't lend much stage time to the character, Reid's performance rang true. With one drunken harumph, he got the point across in a single scene-stealing moment, which, by the way, featured like 20 other characters while Sondheim's score kept going. It was another moment in that show, though, that confirmed to me that he had something special going on, and it was something the audience wasn't treated to. In Act 2, some slight spoilers, apologies, Reid dutifully helped carry his fellow cast member, whose character had died, into the wings, safely set her down, and proceeded to mime out the act of digging her grave and burying her. This unprompted action surprised and delighted those of us lucky enough to witness it so much that, by the final performance, everyone on deck backstage was joining in wherever they were stationed, even if it wasn't Reid's cast on that night. And Headset asked if you were doing it, and I willingly confirmed. That dedication has presented itself again and again, including as both a worker and the understudy for Hades in Hadestown. In a character conference for the multifaceted King of Shadows, the older actors who played the role both looked on in awe at Reid when he discussed his point of view. Reid's insight helped them understand and connect to their character even more. This sort of follow-through is something that presents in various aspects of his life. Not just being down for the bit, which he is, but dedication in his pursuits within and outside of theater. A black belt in 2 different forms of martial arts, and proficient in many school subjects. His mom, Sarah, put it best when she said that he is a wonderful example to all of us adults not to pigeonhole someone. Like an onion, Reid has many layers. It is an honor to be able to see new ones revealed with each passing year, and makes me look to the future with great enthusiasm. While I can admit I selfishly hope he continues to be my student for years to come, I am grateful for what he has taught me as well. While logic always factors in, so does heart. You need the two working in harmony and rhythm if you hope to get anywhere. Okay, world, here comes Reid Powers. This is gonna be good. Woo!
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Reid Michael Powers. The mind and the awe of Reid. The all-knowing has spoken. Reid, a fountain of wisdom, so calm and so bright, his mind's like a beacon, a shining pure light. He knows all the answers, his wisdom profound, a thinker, a learner, where insights abound. With math or with theater, he's always at ease. In puzzles and problems, he's quick to appease. A master of knowledge, yet humble and true. The quietest voice brings the cleverest view. On stage, he's a force with talent to shine, a genius with rhythm, a tempo divine. Our fireside oracle, he's sharp and astute, with a mind that's precise and a heart resolute. He offers his help without need for acclaim, a friend who's supportive, never seeking the fame. Reid, you're the one that we turn to for light. In wisdom and kindness, you're our multifaceted delight.
We now have the honor of having Henry Leopold Schneider come up to be honored by Coyote teacher Jesse Wu.
All right, 4 more. Here we go. Our time in Canyon de Chelly taught us to value silence. So let's take a second, take a deep breath, and become fully present in this moment. Look around, see the people that love you. Henry, these are the words that come to my mind when I think of you. A heart full of feeling, a philosophical mind. A talented musician and athlete, a meditator. An old soul, a learner. Courageous, gentle, gritty, thoughtful, non-reactionary, a good friend, adventurous, intentional, rational, compassionate, wholehearted, wise and getting wiser, strong and getting stronger, authentic and becoming even more authentic. Henry, you were a pretty shy 7th and 8th grader. You seemed, maybe from afar, a little unsure of yourself, a little unsure of who your friends were. But a few moments from this year really illustrated your transformation. Your honoring of Zander. So many times on the trip I heard about that honoring and the power and feeling that you put into that letter. The way you play music. You're an asset to any other musician because you play your part with skill and you're always looking for ways to make others sound better. Our conversation about your life at Chubby's that day. You know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it. If I were to humbly offer you one piece of advice, remember this twist on the golden rule. Treat yourself as you treat others. Henry, you are empathetic, generous, giving, and supportive of everyone else. And yet, you're a little hard on yourself. Don't worry, a lot of us are. Try not to be. Don't see mistakes as failure. See it as opportunities to learn. And then, begin again. In closing, the premise of this ceremony is to decide if you should be recognized as having completed your rites of passage. And if you're ready now to step into adulthood. My answer is an unequivocal yes. You, Henry, our hen bug, are ready to graduate from SBMS. And to borrow the words of the great Scott Sandifer, if anyone here disagrees, I'll fight them right here and now.
The Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Henry Leopold Schneider, the heart of Henry. Henry's the smile that lights up the day. Cracking a joke, he'll chase gloom away. With kindness and humor, he brightens the room, lifting spirits, dispelling the gloom. From guitar strings to a thoughtful word, he's the friend who listens, his voice never blurred. A quiet strength in the way that he stands, leading with warmth and energizing bands. He's the one who's always there for the ride, inviting all with arms open wide. Whether biking or strumming, he's always in tune. A friend who makes joy feel like it's over the moon. With a heart full of kindness and humor that flies, Henry's the one you can trust because he's wise. So here's to the friend who's always the best, a soul so genuine, the heart of our community's chest.
like to invite up Aliyah Grace Stern, who will be honored by her brother, Adam Stern.
Dear Aliyah, as your older brother over the past 14 years, I've had the privilege to watch you learn, grow, and become the person you are today. It's amazing to see how much you have matured, not only from when you were born, but especially over your last 4 years here at SBMS. You've overcome both physical and mental challenges on the trips, made a great group of enduring friendships, and you even tell a funny joke once in a while. Whether it comes to writing amazing and descriptive essays for school, keeping your room polished, or as you say, the cleanest in the house, or working at the barn in exchange for writing lessons, I admire your devoted work ethic that never ceases to amaze me. Uncoincidentally, your astrological sign is Leo the Lion, and in many ways I believe that you possess lots of lioness traits. Sorry, Jake, for copying you. As a symbol to go along with this letter, I got you this line. To start, I have always seen you as a leader. Whether it means being brave and strong, using your smarts and wittiness, or just being your powerful self, it's apparent that you have the natural ability to lead others. Being a good leader means guiding others with integrity, empathy, and a clear vision. A strong leader listens actively, communicates openly, and empowers the people around them to grow and succeed. Although you could definitely work on the listening part, I can tell that you lead by example. Good leaders recognize the strengths of others, encourage collaboration, and create an environment of trust and respect. Ultimately, I see you using your strong and smart qualities every day to create a place where people want to share their ideas and be themselves. Along with your natural keenness to be a leader, you also have an admirable ability to at one moment be the hardest working person I know, and the next allow yourself time to rest and recover. It might sound simple on the surface, but I see how you make time for yourself into your busy schedule, and that is something I really admire and I wish I was better at doing myself. You are athletic, playful, and loud, while still managing to be thoughtful, grounded, and intentional with your time. That balance between drive, joy, ambition, and rest is something I deeply respect. Watching you navigate life with this energy and care inspires me to try and do the same. To wrap up this letter, I want to express how proud I am of you. Even though you somehow find a way to annoy me on a daily basis, you have overcome challenges and worked towards your goals in many ways that people, including myself, idolize. I'm proud not just of what you've accomplished, but of the kind, passionate, and strong person you're becoming. Watching you grow up has been one of the best parts of being your brother, and I hope you continue being your bold and curious self every day. Love, Adam.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Aliyah Grace Stern. Aliyah the Unstoppable. Oh, Aliyah's a fire with wit in her stride, a laugh on her lips and her friends by her side. She stands for what's right with her mind crystal clear. She's bubbly and bold without shame or fear. She's fierce in her focus. She rides with great pride, yet she finds time to stand right by your side. From essays to sports, her efforts full on, a whirlwind of hustle from dusk till dawn. She's loud when she's right, and she's often dead right. She'll argue with passion and study all night. She's loyal and honest, no need to pretend. Even when trouble shows up, she's still a good friend. With a planner in hand and big goals in her head, she charges through life and forges ahead. So here's to the girl with the voice and the flame, Aliyah the bold, who plays her own game.
2 more 9th graders. So let's take a big breath. Let's focus in, and let's give them our best attention and the time. Let's listen and let's learn. You guys got that? You ready for this? Big breath. 2 more. Now it's an honor to invite up Elsie Dew Tollefson to be honored by SBMS alum Ruby Bargill.
Elsie told me last summer that she was raised in fields of strawberries. I'd like to add that the sweetness and the redness seem to have stuck. Elsie cares deeply in a vulnerable way that is open to feeling and crying and laughing with abandonment. She is genuine when she flashes her captivating smile and has fun at no one's expense. Unless she's playing speed, or One Night Ultimate Werewolf, or tickling you, in which case her inner anarchist tends to come out and dominate. Elsie used to be known as the Little Red Wrecker, because you could tell where she'd been by the trail of destruction she left behind. She still leaves a trail, but these days it's one of kindness. A group of people she's never met, smiling as she hums and skips past down State Street. A friend trying to catch their breath after her infamous hugs, or tights, as many accurately call them. A Frisbee teammate beaming at her exuberant encouragement. Anyone who's ever received one of her trademark hyper-complex gifts, feeling seen and loved because of her thoughtfulness and effort. It's very important, however, not to confuse her sweetness with mildness. This girl is full of a red-hot fire that wakes her up each morning, no matter how late, confident that this is her day. Elsie, something I and many others have noticed in the past 3 years is your ability to get things done. You persisted through freezing cold oceans and creeks last year to complete the 100 Days of Wild Water Challenge. This fall, you joined an Ultimate Frisbee team and have made inspiring leaps in both skill and spirit, and you bring that same supportive star power to your various volleyball teams. You amplify excellence. In the classroom and with friends, you share the deep thoughts in your constantly innovating mind and lead discussions, while skillfully making space for everyone else to contribute. You went skydiving in New Zealand. You're in the midst of training for a month and a half of consecutive backpacking trips this summer. You drag me out to swim in bioluminescence, even when I think the night is too cold, and sing Let It Go to remind me how joyful this life can be. You, my friend, are in yes mode. And you're able to do this because you possess a powerful combination of curiosity and decisiveness, intuition and trust, direction and motivation. A tried and true inner compass. The people who have been in your life for some time know that an Elsie no means no, without unkindness or contempt, and an Elsie yes means when can we start. And I say we there because your fearlessness is infectious and makes those around you itch to jump on the adventure train with both feet. You are not a hesitator, even when the task before you is massive. Elsie used to lie in the fields of Fairview Gardens and swim her way through clusters of red, intoxicating fruits, unlike anything many of us have ever tasted. They were so special, in fact, that when she picked a store-bought strawberry out of a bowl on a visit to Seattle and took an excited bite, she gave her father the deepest look of betrayal you could imagine and pushed the chewed-up disappointment into his hand. Suffice it to say, Elsie knowing what she wants has always been a key attribute of hers. Elsie, you are firm in your roots and your hands stretch high. My wish for you is that the fruits of your future are as sweet as the fruits of your childhood. Cheers, my friend.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Elsie Dew Tollefson. Elsie, the wild and bright. Oh, Elsie, she's a fire wrapped up in a grin. She'll battle a bear just to prove she can win. With laughter that lifts you and sass sharp as steel, she'll call out the nonsense and keep it all real. She's wild on the trail, though she swears that she's not, and forgets she hates hiking, but hikes quite a lot. She'll hike up a mountain and sing on the way, then say, next time, never. That lasts just a day. She's fearless, outspoken, and stubborn with grace, yet soft when she sees sadness shadow a face. She listens with silence as strong as a storm, always the first one to bring comfort so warm. Oh, Elsie, bright flame with a fiercely kind heart, you lift up the world just by doing your part. A leader, a listener, all rolled into one. Elsie, your spirit burns brighter than the sun.
All right, let's welcome Axel Wright, who will be honored by Sister Esme Wright.
I'm Axel's dad, Rob Wright. I'm going to join Esme in honoring Axel.
Before I start, raise your hand, and I'm being serious, raise your hand, if you have hunted, butchered, and dissected a wild boar on Thanksgiving Day and taught it all to your little sister. Raise your hand if you have made a bunny trap so you could catch a baby bunny for your little sister. Raise your hand if you have kayaked alone across the Santa Barbara Channel, making yourself a role model for your little sister. I heard a quote somewhere that said, "What's the point of happiness if you have no one to share it with?" This quote describes Axel perfectly. When Axel finds something he is interested in, he can't help but share it with the people he loves. When my brother opens up his world of inventing and creating to me, it's like being put inside the body of a mythical creature that has a whole different perspective on the world. A perspective where everything is an opportunity to try new things and simply create an adventure. The best way I can describe this feeling is by telling you a story. When we were little in Colorado, it was a rainy day, and while I sat inside playing with our dogs, my superhero of a big brother burst through the front door with nothing but Blundstone boots and an umbrella used as a Harry Potter wand, saying he had something to show me. Soon enough, I was following him underneath a bridge, over a fence, into our grumpy neighbor's backyard, and through a 5x5 black tube. Even though I was scared of losing my balance and face-planting into the rushing water flowing underneath my straddled legs, I felt nothing but safety next to my big brother. At last, I found myself hanging onto a 5-step ladder, peeking out of the tiny space in the sidewalk at eye level with the road. We spent the next hour mimicking storm drain monsters until an old man ruined our play by threatening to call the cops. Those few hours were the first of many when I felt as if Axel was no longer my intimidating older brother, but my friend. As he goes on to high school, I am excited for the people he will meet, who experience firsthand, like I do, the wonderful, exhilarating feeling of being loved by Axel.
A few months after this Boulder adventure, our family packed up and moved to California. I remember watching you, Axel, on your first day of middle school, bravely walking into the unknown. Pesci and I were more than a little terrified for you. You came to middle school with many gifts, a precocious competence and skills as diverse as spearfishing, building things, imagining stories, and singing Elsa's part in Frozen. You all think you've heard that, but he didn't really lean into that version. You got to get him to do it again. The dazzling good looks of your father. a vast and sometimes surprising vocabulary, and that physicality that defines you, that beautiful way you have of tackling the world and rubbing its nose in the dirt instead of just watching it from the sidelines. All of these gifts have grown during your years here at middle school, but your greatest gift and biggest vulnerability has always been a big heart. You feel things. You feel them so much that you protect your heart by only sometimes showing those closest to you how much you feel. So what Pesha and I have most enjoyed watching you build at middle school is your courage. For you, the physical world is only rarely daunting, so much so that people might describe you as brave. But true bravery for you is revealing yourself, and I've seen you do that more and more as middle school has taught you to value who you are, to trust the people around you, and to believe that you have something to offer the world. You've learned to say yes to academics, yes to community, yes to Shakespeare, and yes to friendship. All of these affirmations required courage of you. With this courage, which your mom, your sister, and I hope you'll keep feeding, you'll allow your big heart to be hurt sometimes, yes, but also to bring beautiful things into the world. I admire you deeply, Axel. So you know I like poems, and I wrote a sonnet for Axel. Bear with me. So somewhere blown beyond Earth's curve now float my words of years like spindrift flying free. And if they ever spritched your face or smote your woe, your sage bright eyes, deep as the sea where we both bob, will not divulge. Now waves approach and grow, their building fury swelled, like all the fears for you that launched my raves and reprimands, mere wispy words expelled. To sea I go, a nervous stroke and surge up over that huge heaving mass, then turn to see your sure and fearless form emerge and drop into the breakers' roiling churn. And drifting out, my heart both sings and breaks at the distant sparkling spray your life now makes.
Santa Barbara Middle School celebrates on June 13th, 2025, the rites of passage of Axel Wright. Axel of the open road and sea. Axel's the lad with the salt in his hair, chasing a wave or the wide open air. He'll hop on a board or a bike with a grin and dive into life like he's aching to win. He's got that wild spark, always chasing a thrill, but kind in his core and remarkably chill. He laughs like the ocean, he jokes like the breeze, a brother, a surfer, at home with the seas. You think he's laid back? Well, maybe he seems, but Axel's the man who commits to his dreams. He'll talk stocks at sunrise, then fish by the tide, and help out a friend with compassion and pride. He's wild and warm, with a heart that's sincere. Axel the legend, we're glad you've been here. The forecast you check might be wind, swell, or fate, but Axel, you show up, and you always show great.
Wow. Now that's the middle school day so far. We woke up this morning, we were jumping in the ocean. Kids are getting all prettied up. I mean, they present pretty well. They're looking pretty good. And I've seen them in the desert and I've seen them in Oregon. They're looking pretty good. They've come a long way. But any day could be a middle school day. You don't need middle school to have a middle school day. You can always get up in the morning. You can always jump in that ocean. You can always circle up. The idea of this deal that you made with Santa Barbara Middle School, it's not actually a deal with me. That's the little trick. That's the secret. It's not a deal with me. It's not a deal with the school. The most important deals we make are with ourselves. And you can carry that deal forward with you, and I hope you will. What's that deal? You go with gratitude. You've been doing it your whole time here. You give things your full effort. If you're going to do something, why do it halfway? Give it your full effort. You go with active kindness. And you carpe the heck out of the diem. Whatever opportunities you have, you say yes to opportunities. You say yes to hard work. You say yes to type 2 fun. You say yes to hard choices that you know your heart says one thing, but everybody else says another. You can have a middle school day any day. It's up to you. You can always come back to middle school, but you have the ingredients. One of my favorite things about this class, and I think Jesse this morning said just how earnest and willing you were and have been. But I love the way you just said yes to everything. I love the way you became your most authentic self. I love the way that you just let it go. And you became, not only, you can't really form a community if you don't know who you are. Oh yeah, let's form a community. We're all pretending. We're a bunch of posers. We're in the posing community. No, you got to figure out who you are. Then you can make real friendships. Then you can make lifelong friendships. And you can be your most authentic self. So how I want to end, how we want to end this day is they're all on their rows and stuff. I want them to line up right here. All stand up. I want you to lock arms. We won't be circling up. Well, let's see if just line up right here. Nice to see you standing. And then what I want you guys to do is I'd like you all to stand. And then I'd like to try to connect this corner here. And maybe I get a few students to try to connect us over here. Maybe I get a few students to connect us over here. Because the symbol, come on down here, guys. Help us connect. Connect this. There we go. There we go. And I love all these alum coming down to make the bridge. And then we're going to do this for a little bit, and then we'll make way, we'll sit back down, and they'll have their procession up. But this is the teaching. This is the final thing. When in doubt, or when in celebration, you circle up. It's the way through. So, what I want to do with this is, I want you to take a second. I love this. Here's our 9th graders. Look out on all the people of your community that love you. And community, look at these 9th graders and see what each one of you help make possible. When I see the circle, I don't think about them walking out of the grove in 30 seconds. I just feel hope. In this crazy world, with so much going on, when I think about this little thing, I think about hope. I have that feeling. Give me hope. So, 30 seconds of silence. Oh, I'm going to hang out with these guys. And let's just, eyes wide open like we did this morning. Look around. These are your people. These are our people. The power of story, yours, mine, and ours this year. This is our community. So, 30 seconds of silence. And then we'll break the chain, we'll hit some music and get you out of here. All right, 30 seconds. Appreciate it. I present to you the young men and women of the class of 2020.
till my love took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till a landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too.
I know, so they look the same. Really no.
And if you see my reflection